Yeah, look around in the world. There's plenty to be done. Plenty to be done.
Welcome to the Destination Workplace Show, a podcast that inspires CEOs, real estate, workplace, and HR leaders to create meaningful and purposeful employee experiences inside and outside of the office. My name is Nelly Hyatt, and I'm a work futurist. And I'm sitting down with leaders to talk about the future of the workplace, their vision and ambition for the next generation of employees, and how to have an impact.
I think I wrote Will There Be Donuts about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it came out of the work that I'd been doing for years with businesses on the art of meeting. You know, you and I, Nelly, find meetings interesting, but we are in a minority. Okay. Most people think of meetings, actually, this is pre-pandemic, but most people thought of meetings as kind of like really the, you know, like the pest, you know, the bane of their lives, a real, And I was always feeling like, coming from the theater, I would look at meetings and think, wow, this is dramatic. You know, there's something happening here, or there could be. And in the book, Will There Be Donuts, I distinguish what I call nearly meeting from really meeting. Because what I noticed was that most meetings are not meetings, they're missing. People don't really meet. They kind of talk about the stuff, they kind of get work done, they kind of connect. And I say, if you're gonna meet, let's meet. Now, of course, and there's, you know, in the post-industrial society, you know, most of us don't have oil or coal under our fingertips like our grandparents. This is the work. Nelly talking to David, you know, this is the engine of the post-industrial economy. And that's really what a meeting is. It's human beings interacting. So let's do it well. So anyway, that's been sitting there and selling over the years. But then comes COVID, and suddenly people are missing meetings. Wow, right? It's an interesting premise to think about the wider question, which is, why do humans connect? What work requires humans to connect? Can humans connect online as well as live, or do they have to be face to face? I mean, you and I have both seen in millions of examples where people are in the same room and don't connect. So clearly it's not just physical proximity, there's got to be something else.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we are not only, I think we're talking a lot about the new workplaces, or we're seeing an emergence of teams called How We Work. So it's very trendy right now in Silicon Valley. Those teams are defining how we work together, not only where we work, but how we work. But somehow I think we need to talk about why we work. And I think we were afraid to touch that part, and it's gonna take a few years before we get there. But I think there's this long history of very unhealthy relationship with work. And so somehow we before COVID was like, oh, we're gonna make work we're gonna make the workplace very enjoyable, so you forget that you're working. But actually work is can be fulfilling, can be interesting. Work is very impactful. We don't need to hide it again. Like, we should be very proud of working. I think we lost that because of so many years of very bad relationship with work. We should be very proud of working. And work shouldn't hurt. So this is why we have these amazing workplaces, and we have this written code on how we work so we can collaborate. Yes. But we should own that, we love working. I love this work. I'm proud of the work that I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's so interesting. I heard this author who wrote a book called, I don't know if I can say this, but Bullshit Jobs.
I love it.
A guy called David Graeber. And he's an academic, and he comes at work from the perspective of sustainability and the environment, and tracks the fact that a huge contribution to carbon and other attacks on the environment come from our working lives. And then he juxtaposes that with the fact that an extraordinarily large number of people, A, don't like their work, and B, don't think their jobs are significant. They think that if they weren't there, they wouldn't be missed. And he calls these bullshit jobs. And what he's saying is, we need that re-examination of what work means, as you're saying, Nelly.
Yeah, but I don't think like it's funny. It's a very interesting book. I think I need to read it. But like the bullshit jobs, somehow there's none. Like I remember when I was living in the UK and I was taking the bus every morning to go to work. The bus driver had such an impact on me every morning, like, and especially it was in Liverpool, so he was giving "Hey love" with the sky, "Hey love," and it was like every morning I'd be like, "Wow, I need that person! Like the impact they have on me is so great. I hope they know." So every morning I'd be like, like, I'm so happy to see you every morning. Your job is very important to me, even though it's not written in your scope of work. It's not written to make people happy, but somehow this is also what the intention is. Not the scope of work that we get when we get a new job actually doesn't talk about all of this. You're going to make your coworkers happy. You're going to make other people to want to come to work. You're going to create wealth. You probably, as you succeed, you're going to make room for new people to join us because you'll expand the number of jobs that we need. So you're giving job to someone else. It's not written in the scope. And yet there's this strong community aspect of work. As I succeed in my own path, I open rooms for more people to succeed in theirs. It's not written anywhere. And actually it's, for me, it's like number one, like I'm working so I can allow other people to work. And we lost that also.
Sorry to interrupt, but I mean, just to build on the bullshit jobs thing, because I think I don't want, my view isn't that, okay, here's my view. Get my view together. I don't know what my view is. What's my view now? I think the thing is that if we were to accept that jobs had a social function and a community building function, and that part of the very important part of them is to create relationships. Businesses are an excuse to have relationships.
Yeah.
And we approached it from that point of view, I think it'd be a lot healthier. I was working once with an Israeli company in Israel. And as you can imagine, they're a little bit skeptical of this English guy, like, okay, really? So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to go military here. So they've all been in the military. I thought, okay, fine. So I said, guys, do me a favor. I'd just like you to take some Post-it notes and write down the names of the people in your team and put them up on the wall. And I walked out and I gave them 10 minutes. And I came back in and they're like, yeah, big deal, big. And I have with me a bucket and a big bucket of Post-it notes. And I looked at them and I said, almost like stand up, stand to attention. I asked you to do something, you haven't done it. And I was like, what? I said, you asked us to put our team. I said, yeah, you didn't put your team, you put your business team. You didn't mention the guy that serves you Starbucks in the morning, the bus driver. You didn't mention your mother, your father. You didn't mention your school teachers. You didn't mention the people that travel. And I got it and I said, and then I said, I poured this bucket of like 10,000 Post-it notes. I said, I'm going to give you another 10 minutes. If I come back here and there's any of these Post-it notes still on the wall, I'm going back to England. I came to Israel to work with leaders, not managers, and walked out, wham, and slammed the door. They loved it.
Of course they did.
Achitov. Now, but the point was made, and it's your point, which is your team is 1,000 people. Now and in the past. It's like, just recognize for a second who is working to help you do your job. Did you get what you needed?
I think I have more than what I needed.
It's been great. It's been great talking to you.